Alright everybody, I'm just going to kind of give you an idea what this video is going to be all about. This video is going to be a few different times, a few different clips, yada yada. This video that's playing right now is me test driving the truck. Just kind of showing y'all what it's like with no intercooler. This day it was probably 70 degrees outside. It was doing good, but as you can see, things change. I'm gonna go through this. This whole deal was 500 and 600 seconds, so almost 10 minutes of sorry, there's other people in the background, but anyways, there was almost 600 divided by 60, that'd be 10 minutes. Well, there was only about a minute. Let me look here, 500 seconds to 555. Yeah, about a minute of driving. So the coolant temperature though was 190. 190 max. Let's go over here. The manifold air pressure, which would be boost, was 147 kPa. So 3 or 4 pounds. I'm guessing I'm not real good with my kPa conversion. Need to convert that to PSI. But fuel pressure and everything looked good. But this is what everybody wants to know: manifold air temperature. You can see it's a pretty flat line. My max was 110 throughout this entire deal. This was the very first drive. So all this was recorded, in the data log, and there's still been tuning since then. And I know this ain't going to prove anything to anybody who knows anything, but I just wanted to be kind of transparent and show it all here. But, this is no intercooler, nothing is hooked up at all. So anyways, we'll go to the next one. All right, everybody, I'm sure it's loud. This thing, it's probably 90 degrees out. Intake air temps are 130 right now. They've been up to 150. I'm trying to be completely transparent. I still have no intercooler on it. I've got it on a couple times, nothing crazy. Anyways, that's it. Alright guys, I just did a pull out here in Mexico, but I want everybody to see it. I hit about 180 on the air temps. I got in it pretty good. And let me see, well, I'm already back down to 150, but it definitely got up to about 180. I wish I would have had it, which I'll have it in the log, but like I said, I'm trying to be 100% transparent. Okay guys, this is the second drive, and I have no intercooler with this. The ambient temperature was about 90 degrees outside, and this is where I could definitely tell it was getting warm. So we'll go over here. Oh yeah, here we go. I don't know how I missed this. My max was well, let me see, where am I actually at? No. Yeah, my max manifold air temp was 155. Like I said, this was about a 10-minute drive as well. I don't care that it's 155 degrees, but I know it starts pulling timing at 130. So, when you start pulling a few degrees of timing up top, man, it's like having a whole another engine missing or down 4 cylinders. So, either way, I just wanted y'all to see on manifold air temp. I mean, you can visibly see my max is 155. Minimum was 100. So it was pretty close to 100 that day, I would think. Had to be. But anyways, like I said, this was a 10-minute drive. It didn't take me long to figure it out. That temps are going to climb. They're going to climb fast, especially if you're in it. And I wasn't in it that much. I was just driving it. So this leads on to the next part of the video where I have to combat this problem. You can see I have a Rubbermaid cooler. Just the old one I had laying around. I have a 1,500 gallon per minute pump. I did have to adapt it down to some heater hose that I'm using. But this will be coming back from the intercooler. And this is to the intercooler. It's just right outside the pump. I drilled them to where they fit as tight as they could. And then I have a little plug coming off here to power it. But, my theory on this is I can throw some ice in here and maybe some cold sodas or cold beer, God forbid, and have a good time. You know, hopefully that ought to be plenty to keep the engine cool, I would think. It's a Sunday morning. It's been a long time since I posted a video. I'm staying here with the truck. My baby boy's with grandma for till at least noon probably, and wife's kind of taking it easy. I don't sleep very long, so I'm working on my truck. Man, I'll be, like I said, I want to be 100% transparent on the intercooler temp deal. Man, it stayed 130, 140-ish, with it being 75, 80 degrees out, but now that it's June and it's 100, makes a huge difference. I'm seeing 180, even 190, which I didn't like, but it instantly cools off, you know. But either way, you definitely need an intercooler, for sure. I mean, you could get by without it, maybe with some water meth or nitrous or whatever, but you know, it was worth a shot. I wanted to prove to myself that you had to have an intercooler, which I've read, and I mean, everybody knows that, but you know, I'm hard-headed. So I'll show you here. I have my intercooler lines hooked up. I'm gonna have these tied up a lot better. They go down low and run out here. I haven't got them hooked up yet, but as y'all seen earlier, probably, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this video, but I have previous videos of some of this. This is just a cooler that I fancied up a little bit, but bilge pump, you know, I've just got it fancied up in here. That's the return. It's gonna dump the water in here. You know, you got in and out, and then I wired up a fancy plug to keep it wired in. The Holley will control it through intake air temperature, or the MAT, the manifold air temp sensor. So it'll just kick on and off when needed, which is pretty cool. And I got kind of crazy here, but just use some like turnbuckle things to hold down this cooler, kind of be a little more permanent. What's neat about this is that I can put some ice in here if I really want to get crazy. I can also hold some cold beer, some drinks if I'm at a show or a cruise or something. So, pretty cool deal. But like I said, I've been driving the truck a ton, man. I've had a ball with it already. The power is ridiculous. It burns the tires off at will. I know it'll do it at 50 or 60 miles per hour, probably 70. I don't know why it wouldn't. It'll just, like I said, it's stupid. I've had a turbo car. They're super fun, but they're not. I'll always have something with a blower from here on out. They're crazy. But the deal is, I need to change my oil. I'm gonna change transmission fluid and filter, because that was a transmission that I took apart and serviced. Put new filter, yada yada, but did some stuff. I want to make sure everything's good and clean in there, because I'm not being nice to it at all. And I'm going to put a new set of plugs. So I got the BRE 7F, or is that, I mean, I don't even know where I put them. Yeah, they're NGK. Well, that's backwards to y'all, but BR7EF, so 3346. I'm gonna get all this put in. I have to wire up the pump and the Holley as well. And you know, I was worried about this thing leaking. Excuse me. But I don't know if y'all remember, but let me flip this around. Okay, so as to my intercooler brick leaking, I had these two lines open to atmosphere. So, man, if that was leaking, that would have caused a vacuum leak. But that circuit is completely separate of the engine circuit, unless something was leaking. Man, I'm gonna say if it would have had a vacuum leak, I would have known it. You know, I can put my fingers on each one of them holes, and it made no difference at idle or anything. So you know, tune wise, I'm pretty sure I didn't tune around a vacuum leak or anything like that. So I was going to pull the plugs out, turn the pump on, circulate a bunch of water, and just make for sure. But I'm gonna live on the wild side and go with my gut. And I'm just gonna put a set of plugs in it and try it. So y'all come along for the ride. We're gonna get her done. Well, if you didn't know, it's hot. It's like 100 degrees today. Got the plugs in. Man, they looked rich for sure. They were a little fat, no doubt. Let me find a good one here. That's a good one. Boy, it's black as the day is long, so I'll have to change some tuning. I've always worried about the injectors I have. They're 1500 cc snake eaters. They're actually probably way too big, but that's what I had, and I really haven't had any drivability issues. It's just, I wasn't expecting them to look that fat, but we'll get it figured out. On to the next thing. Boom, just like that. A few hours later, gonna go swimming, but I'm gonna show y'all my little note here. It's key to not forget and screw up. No oil or trans fluid. I had to leave right when I was getting done with this thing, so we're gonna get some oil and tranny fluid in it and try and get it wired up as well. So hopefully I'll figure this out and we'll carry y'all along with us and try and get it going. Get that intercooler pump working. All right, here we go. I am looking there. I have my 4 outputs that I've had for a while. You can look back in past videos if you want to see that, but we're gonna get in here to the Holley real fast. If I can. Excuse me, I'm computer slow on working with my left hand here. So we're gonna go turn everything on. We're gonna link up with the truck. Oh, I hear intercooler pump right now. All right, this output will activate one above. So we're gonna go and deactivate at 100. Okay, but let me scroll this in here. Should have done that closer where y'all could see it. So I have 0 switched input, so I have no switches that I'm gonna turn on with, but I do have a sensor input, which is 1, and this output will activate when the manifold air temperature is above 110 degrees and will disable at 100 degrees. So that's why I have that like that, and I use the manifold air temperature to turn on the pump so the pump's not on all the time. And I may have to change that. I might be crazy, but that's what's cool about the Holley. It's a click away. So we're gonna, for other purposes, we're going to bump this down here to about 70, and that kicks her on. So let's go see how much water we got. All right, fellas, I'm out here in Mexico checking my pump. Boy, it's working good. Working good. Not seeing no leaks. I haven't blew it up yet. Can't be leaking too bad. Alright. Well, let's get on it, son. I'll let y'all know how it does. So manifold air temps at 110. So I believe that's when the pump shuts off. I can't remember what I just did. crap out of it beating on it. So, you know, I'm gonna back all this up. I got all the logs and everything. So just kind of neat to see everything work and kind of get everything figured out. So I'll, like I said, I'm gonna get the logs together and we'll look at it together after this and just show y'all what it actually means to have an intercooler and why you almost got to have it. All right, guys. So here is where I do the intercooler. Man, this is a 20-minute run. I had run it some before this and some after this. You know, I'll show you here. I never once. Let's look at RPM here. So we'll go here. My RPM, my max RPM over this whole thing was 4,700, 4,699. And man, that is crazy because, you know, I felt like I really dogged this truck out, but, you know, I didn't. I mean, I did, but with a blower, everything's down low and it's just ridiculous. So, but here we go. This is with about a tank of water only, no ice. And I'm going to look over here. MAT is the green. So we can go all through this run and watch my numbers change. But, you know, it roughly stayed, like it says, the average is 130. And I can definitely get that down, even just by adding more water to the tank. But, you know, if my average was 130 or below, it wasn't pulling any timing at all. So that's awesome. I mean, that helps a lot. But let's say my max temperature throughout this entire thing was 155 degrees. But this is, you know, in the videos before, I was driving it, making a couple pulls, nothing crazy. But I'm telling you right now, you can see by these waves, I can back out of this. Let's look at here. You know, you can tell by this chart that I'm getting in and out of it for 20 minutes solid. You know, I'm going from, I was not being nice to it. I mean, you can tell by my RPM. This is my RPM, the red. So I'm in and out quite a bit. And, you know, the reasoning for that was to test it. So, you know, I got it up to 155. Let's see if I can find the, I'm going to try and find the hottest time I can find. Or the hottest. All right, so we'll go here. And we're going to ride it up. Oh, shoot. MAT. Oh, shoot. I keep messing this up. But, all right. MAT. Okay, let me look. Let me look farther down this pool here. Sorry. Let's go here. Okay, so here we are. So we're 240 seconds into the run. It's at 153, which is very close to my max. So we'll go over here. And so we're going from 150 down to, we're getting there. Let me get back over here. So down to about 130. So we go from 150 to 130, 240 in less than a minute. So, you know, and that's in between getting pretty crazy. And I have no ice in this thing, fellas. Just keep that in mind. I can put ice in this thing and roll out and be fine. I can probably get it way down there. I probably need to do that and do a video with that. But the basis of this is just to show that this intercooler works. Uh, you know, like I said, a lot of people say, why would you have a cheap oil cooler as an intercooler? Well, here's the data to back it up. I ramped and roared on this truck for 20 minutes solid, and I never got above 150. And if it did, it took less than a minute to get it back down. That's with no ice, which, I should have put ice in there just to prove my point even more. But, that was a half a cooler full of water and no ice. So that made all the difference in the world. This was a 100-degree day and it was hot. All right, guys, I just got the laptop out of the truck. Pull up here. Whoo, feels like a hot tub. So either I'm gonna fill it up completely full of water, or it did good. It got about 127, 130, I'm guessing, at the max, at all times. So, maybe more water or some ice in there, definitely, if you was on a long trip. But, man, just catting around town, it's fine like that. So, pretty cool, man. I'm pretty excited. I haven't noticed anything crazy. I probably will. I don't know. I was thinking I might pull the plugs and just check everything before I crank it over again after it's had water in it setting, And I may do that, but, man, I really think it's fine. So, either way, man, that's probably about it on intercooler temps, I'm sure I could get them way down there with some ice, and, I can definitely tell when it's not pulling timing. So, something you need to look into, you need to do. And number one, that intercooler costs $30. People told me I was crazy that you couldn't do that, or why would you put a $30 oil cooler inside of your intake, and yada yada. Man, a cooler's a cooler. That thing has fins like a little radiator. You put some water through that dude and it's gonna cool it off. Proof's gonna be in the pudding in this log. I know for a fact it's already done good. Don't let people tell you to think outside the box, man. Always think outside the box, because you'll get results like this for not a lot of money. I'd really like to do a breakdown on what I've spent on this, but I paid $300 for that blower. I paid, I believe, $200 or $300 for the intake, $40 or $50 in material, and $30 for that cooler. I also only paid $1,000 for a 6.0 with a 4080 two-wheel drive. So, I've got headers and wiring and all that, all my Holley stuff. That all adds up. But, this combo right here is bad to the bone for not a lot of money. And that's me, man. I'm a working guy, blue collar all the way. I don't have all the money in the world, but this is a badass setup for not a lot of money for the working guy. So here you go, man. I hope y'all enjoy.